Mr. Transformers 96 here, in the video, and I'm going to be talking about some newly shown Marvel Legends figures. And this time it is the Spider-Man Far From Home wave. So we have the official images of the wave, which some of these figures we've already seen, but some are completely new, as well as, actually only one of the individual figures is completely new, and then the Build-A-Figure itself is new. This is really exciting. Most of these were shown at the New York Toy Fair 2019, and I did discuss them when they were shown on display there. And I was saying that I really didn't like this wave, and I was really hoping Mysterio would be in this wave in some capacity, whether it be a figure or the Build-A-Figure of the wave, although I didn't think that he was big enough to be a Build-A-Figure. I wanted a Mysterio figure pretty bad. So I couldn't be more happy to report that Mysterio is a part of this wave, and he's not the Build-A-Figure, which is even better, which is quite nice. And then the Build-A-Figure is better than I could have ever imagined, to be honest. Now, to be totally honest, I don't know if this wave is gonna really resonate with people. I could totally see a lot of people not enjoying this wave. For me personally, though, this is one of the best Marvel Legends waves I have seen in years. Just for me, I'm not just judging it on for everybody. For me and my personal taste when it comes to Marvel comic and movie, this is ideal for me. So I'm very excited about this. So let's get into it. There's 7 figures in the actual assortment. However, you only need to buy 6 to build Molten Man, who's the Build-A-Figure, and of course this is the movie version of him, not comic version. So just going over the actual figures here, the one that does not come with the Build-A-Figure piece is Spider-Man in his just kind of normal suit for this new movie, which is red and black. So it's this one over here. That is it's not a figure that I absolutely need. I'm not a big fan of this costume. I think that the classic version of his costume from Civil War, Homecoming, and Infinity War all work much better than this, so I'm not a huge fan of this new costume. I think it's a little plain. Figure-wise, it looks fine, except for the fact that he doesn't come with a Peter Parker head sculpt. Really disappointed by that. If this wave is lacking anything, it's head sculpts, and I'll address that later on too, but that is one disappointing factor. But what I'm so happy about is that he doesn't come with a Build-A-Figure piece, so he's the one figure that I don't plan to get, and that is perfect, because he doesn't come with a Build-A-Figure piece, so I don't need him. Then the next is the new stealth mode Spider-Man suit from Far From Home, which I'm very excited about. The suit itself looks really cool, very intricate, which is nice. And then he comes with 2 head sculpts, one with the goggles kind of flipped up, so you can see his eyes underneath, which I think is really cool. So I'm pretty excited about that figure. I think it looks nice, and he comes with the left arm for Molten Man, which is his larger arm. This is a really cool Build-A-Figure because he's so uneven in his proportions. It's pretty neat. And then next is the figure that I can't wait for this wave. It's the movie Mysterio. I couldn't be any happier about this. The figure itself looks tremendous. Great detail. Really like the coloring. My only issue with it is the same as the Spider-Man one, that he is lacking a Jake Gyllenhaal head sculpt. He's lacking the head sculpt underneath the dome, which is disappointing because it's I feel very much similar cases to the Vulture figure that was released for the Homecoming wave. That was a fantastic figure, and I absolutely love the design, but I was disappointed that he didn't come with a Michael Keaton head sculpt, although I preferred his armored head sculpt more, and that's the same case here. Of course I prefer the classic dome more, and I'm going to display him with the dome on, but that Jake Gyllenhaal head sculpt would be quite important, because I think that he's going to spend a decent amount of movie, just like Michael Keaton's Vulture, without the helmet on, so I would have definitely liked that extra head sculpt. However, I do love the dome, and the figure itself just looks so great, so I'm very happy about that. He comes with the left leg from Molten Man, which is the larger one. And then we have the Doppelganger Spider-Man. Quite a fan of this. I've always been interested in the Doppelganger Spider-Man from the comics. He looks really great. I love his aggressive hand sculpts. It's very similar to the kind of 6-arm Spider-Man that came out in the Kingpin wave. The only issue with it is it's lacking torso articulation, which I assume is because they need to cut costs somewhere, since you're getting 6 arms instead of your normal 2 with that figure. So accessory-wise, he's quite stacked if you just look at his extra limbs. But I would have liked at least some sort of ab crunch. And they could have easily put the ab crunch in here. It could totally fit in there in between the pegs and everything of the arms. That wouldn't have been an issue. So I would imagine it's not there simply because of cost. You got to cut costs because you get so much extra with it, which is understandable though. So I'm not massively disappointed. The weakest comic figure in this wave is the Spider-Woman, in my opinion. It is a very classic looking Spider-Woman, almost has the venomous type of look with the more aggressive arms on the spider logo, as well as black and white color scheme. You know, she's alright, just I have other Spider-Woman figures, don't really need another one. That's the only one that I'm not huge on, although I really do like her accessory, which is her hand kind of shooting out a giant kind of web net almost, which I think is cool. And she also comes with the most interesting Build-A-Figure piece, being the torso for Molten Man. As you can see, it looks quite huge there, and it's so big that it has to be split up the back from the front, which is quite cool. And then we have Scorpion, which I'm a big fan of. I love the classic Spider-Man villains, and Scorpion is, of course, a very classic Spider-Man villain, and they decided to do him in his most classical-looking outfit, which I think is really cool. They didn't go with a more modern approach, which they do sometimes with, like, Electro and stuff like that, so I'm very happy about this. That's the version of Scorpion I would like, and with his tail and everything, I'm really excited that he is just a normal packed figure, and it looks like a great figure indeed. And then Hydra Man. I've never been a big fan of Hydra Man in the comics. He's just like okay. I don't dislike him, but I've never really gravitated towards him. However, the figure looks great. I really like the figure. I talked about it at Toy Fair, how impressed I was with the figure. Probably, I think that was my favorite Marvel Legends that was shown at the Toy Fair. But I love the torso. It has a very naturalistic looking shirt to it, and it looks like there's wrinkles and everything there. And I really like the kind of Sandman styled arms. I like the Sandman Build-A-Figure with the really chunky, bulky arms that is translucent blue, along with the kind of feet areas that's translucent blue as well. I think it looks really cool. And then he comes with the head for Molten Man. Now, I can't wait to see these guys on display with each other, just to get an idea of Molten Man's size, because as you can see, it looks like his one arm there is as tall as Spider-Man, and Spider-Man is a slightly smaller figure, so I'll just say that his arm's probably as tall as a normal-sized Marvel Legends figure, and he's kind of in a crouching position, so I'll be really interested to see this guy compared to the others, just to see how bulky he is. But Molten Man himself looks awesome. I really love it. We get a very quick shot of him in the movie, just in the trailer. You know, hopefully, by the time I'm filming this, you never know, there might be a second trailer to show in front of Endgame, but I think that he's just got a really cool design to him. It's very different from the comics, and I've never gravitated towards Molten Man in the comics, very much like Hydra Man, which, you know, these are kind of the secondary villains of the movie. But this is a really cool kind of monstrous rendition on the character, which I actually really prefer. It gets me excited about the character. And I feel like Molten Man might have some decent role in the movie, or at least maybe Mysterio will be like making it seem like he's the main villain, and then surprise, it's Mysterio all along, that type of thing. Because not only is he the Build-A-Figure here, but he's he got a pop made out of him. He's also in the Mystery Minis line. So there's just there is a Lego set as well. So there's just a few like there's a lot of merchandise from Molten Man, which is very strange. A little bit more than Hydra Man. So it's interesting, and I wonder what his role will be in the movie. But nonetheless, I really like his design, and I'm very excited to see him in the movie. And I couldn't have asked for any better Build-A-Figure, because I prefer movie, of course, and Molten Man size-wise is perfect as the Build-A-Figure. So I couldn't be any happier about this assortment. Usually when a line comes out, I'm interested in the Build-A-Figure, and then I want like 2 figures in the wave, and that's about it. This is a rare occasion where I'm stoked for the Build-A-Figure. I'm absolutely stoked for several members of this wave, and really the only one that there's 2 that I'm not super interested in. One of them you don't need to buy a Build-A-Figure piece for, so I don't even need to buy it. And then the other one is the Spider-Woman. Looks like a nice figure, but not a character that I'm particularly excited for, so, you know, I'll buy that one just for the Build-A-Figure piece, essentially. So this is one of those rare circumstances where I want just about every figure that I need to get, which is great, so I couldn't be happier about that. Can't wait for this wave to come out. It is scheduled to come out in June. I believe that's the same time the movie's scheduled. You know, it might be, sorry, Spider-Man Far From Home comes out July, I think, so this will be hitting very similar to the way that the Endgame line hit, which was just a couple weeks / month before the movie's release. Overall, very excited for this wave. It's on pre-order at most outlets, and definitely recommend picking up this wave. I think it's a fantastic looking one. So let me know what you guys think of this wave, and thanks so much for watching.